Welcome to It Can Get Better Than This. I'm Dr. Cindy Byler.
And I'm Heather Hodge. And today we're starting our series on conflict resolution.
I'm really excited about this because this is an area of communication that most people, most couples, and most relationships struggle with the most. So, conflict is actually a healthy marker of a good relationship. It isn't that you have conflict, it's how you deal with conflict.
Wait,
It-
what if you have no conflict at all, though?
I haven't met too many relationships that have been in especially if they're living in the same place, same house, that haven't had conflicts.
You hear that? Okay.
So they might have already developed healthy relationship skills to deal with them, but even the conflict of where do you want to eat? I don't know. Where do you want to eat?
Yeah. Because I've heard couples say that before. We never fight. We've never had a fight before.
Well, and then that doesn't mean they haven't had a conflict. That means they
Mm.
haven't had a big argument.
Okay.
So that might be a relative concept as to what somebody defines as a fight with their
Gotcha.
spouse or parents or whoever they live with. So when you have a conflict, I'm saying that it's a good marker, a healthy marker in a relationship because it brings problems to the surface in the relationship that are causing things not to work for one person or both people. It's it's very healthy to be able to talk about those things rather than push them down and just let them roll off your back all the time. I was talking with a client this week, and he's very laid back in his marriage, and he just pretty much lets his wife do whatever, and he doesn't really have an opinion about anything. And I told him that that might be speaking to his wife that he is not really interested in the relationship when he has no opinions.
Like it is not invested. It comes off like that.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So we all go through emotions, and we don't want to get rid of even the negative emotions that we have, whether it's hurt or sadness or anger or fear. We want to be able to feel those things when they're occurring because those are natural emotions that we have. And when you can express those negative emotions within a relationship and you are received in a safe and healthy manner, then it can actually build the relationship and build a stronger bond between you and that other person.
Mm.
So it's important to learn how to deal with conflict within relationships because every relationship has them and they need to find healthy, safe ways to deal with them so that their bond can actually get closer. The relationship can feel stronger.
So you
Within
actually
it.
get closer to each other when you go through conflict and come out of it in a healthy way.
Yes.
That's
You,
cool.
you sure can.
So, if you've lived in an unhealthy environment or a toxic environment, an abusive environment, the initial response is going to be to take care of yourself first, especially if that's how you grew up.
Yes. Make
Um,
yourself because you want to protect yourself.
yeah, or if you've gone through anything really bad, or you've had rough relationships, or like a bad teacher or whatever, and they've kind of taught you to defend yourself. I think the first primal instinct would be to like protect yourself, guard yourself, get defensive, not even want to hear what the other person has to say.
Right. Right. So it's important in conflict resolution to start with yourself. And we always want to start with how the other person responds to us. It's important to start with yourself and how you're responding to the conflict. Are you a person that just shuts down and doesn't want to deal with anything? And you just push it aside? The problem with that is that it doesn't stay pushed down. It it leaks out in all kinds of places. If you can picture like a bucket and it's full to the brim, but there's little holes all over it, and I can almost see like the cartoon picture of that with little
The pinholes and the water
yes,
coming out. Yeah.
and that's what it does, and it usually does that in ways that are not healthy and that do not build the relationship, and definitely don't resolve whatever conflict is going on within that person.
A lot of time that can be hard to let go of. And it's not because the person's trying to be selfish, it's because they have no trust for whoever they're
Hmm. Right.
dealing with, whoever they're fighting with, especially like in a marriage where you're fighting all the time, and your first instinct on top of fighting all the time is to be protective of yourself
Hmm.
and to say, I'm not going to let this person run over me, or I'm not going to let this person diminish who I am or make me feel small or whatever fear is
Right.
underlying there. It can be conceived as like you just don't ever want to be wrong. And it's like that's not really the case. It's more I don't trust you with um working this out because I feel like I have to keep myself protected, but I'm also like calling you out on what you're doing, but I'm not going to let you do anything to me because I need to protect myself from you.
Right. Right. And I believe that trust is even more important, or at least as important as love is in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Without trust, you have nothing in a relationship, especially ones that you're living with or that you're really close to, like some kind of a life partner.
Yeah.
Even if that you're not married yet, but you're sharing expenses, you're sharing a living situation. Um, if you don't have trust, you don't really have anything, and it's vital to conflict resolution as well, because if you don't feel like the person has your best interest at heart, then you have no trust,
Mm.
and you will live in a protective state because you have to, because you're the only one that has your best interest at heart. So trust is vital and like the key element to a relationship that can be healthy and strong, in my humble opinion.
I think that's good.
And it takes two. You both have to be able to trust each other, that you have each other's best interest at heart in order to resolve conflict. Otherwise, one of you is always going to be in a protected state with walls up, and with that can come sarcasm or an inability to want to deal with the issues,
Deflecting.
deflecting, right? Constant defensive posture.
So how do you take the first steps, whether that's friends arguing or sisters or siblings or marriage? How do you take that first step when you both feel that defensive and you need to trust each other?
I think you take the first step by building the trust. And again, it goes back to within yourself, do I have this other person's best interest at heart?
Mm.
What is the motivation in this relationship for me? Am I here to get what I want? Or am I here to build a relationship with this person, learn about this person, help take care of this person, and be a part of a give and take relationship, a two-way street? And both people need to have some time to think through their motivation in the relationship. Because I think that's one of the biggest keys is if you don't know that in yourself and the other person doesn't know within themselves, you're never going to create a safety
Yeah.
in the relationship. And then you have to start changing how you're dealing with communication and conflict. So I want to talk a little bit about how to start a conflict resolution.
Ooh, okay. We gotta start a fight.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's start a fight. Put up your dukes.
Okay, I'm ready.
So a lot of times we will, because we're feeling something negative like anger or hurt or fear, we will go on the attack when we're talking to our spouse, or we've pushed it down so long we can no longer keep pushing it down. And something has hit that last straw or hit us the wrong way, or something else happened that caused us to hit the last straw.
Mm-hmm.
And so we start off angry and launching an attack rather than a soft startup. So what you want to remember is hopefully you and your partner are on the same team. If you're not on the same team, that's the first conflict you need to have.
Yeah,
Is
we
we're
need to
not
get
on the same team,
Yeah,
right?
that makes
Like
sense.
this should be a partnership. If we're living together, this should be a two-way relationship. No matter what the relationship is, it shouldn't be all about me or all about you. We should be taking care of the kids together. We should be sharing household chores together. We should be talking about finances together where we have an equal voice.
Yeah,
We should be caring equally about the other person.
yeah. Or we should be supporting each other as friends, even.
Right.
Or if it's like with your kid or your parent, it's we should be supporting each other. We should be
Yes.
aiming towards the best for us together.
Right. Right. So You want to soften the startup. So it's not an attack. So one way not to do it would be, what is wrong with you?
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Or what were you thinking?
yeah.
That's not a good
or
way
I
to
can't
start.
believe you, or you, or any of those. Oh, I've had a few of those.
Or starting with, cuss words
Or name calling.
or
Yeah.
name calling. Yes. Those are the ways not to start. Start by being gentle and remembering that you're on a team. If you're not on a team, that's the first conversation. So if you're having a hard time not starting angry, it's a possible sign that you've been holding on to this for a long time
Yeah.
and you've put up with more than what you've been able to tolerate, and you should have had this conversation a while ago. So you're going to have to keep reining it in so that you can start soft. And what that does is it keeps the other person's defenses down so they can hear what you have to say.
Yeah.
Now, most people have the defenses up no matter what you do. Even if you say, can we talk about something? Instantly, like, oh no, what did I do?
Yeah.
And the walls go up. So it's going to take some time to build trust that you can work it out in a healthy way, a safe way, so that each person can be heard and it's not going to cause a huge blow up.
Yeah. Maybe
Or
that
fight.
initial conversation of, I don't like how we're having conflict. I don't like how we're handling our arguments, and I want to try something different. Can we try it
Yeah.
like this? And then saying, hey, remember when we said we're going to try, arguing a different way? We're going to try talking to each other a different way. Well, something came up and I want to talk to you about it, but I want to do it like this.
Yes. I want to do how we talked about. Yeah, that's a good point, because having the talk about how you want to have a talk ahead of time is a great idea.
Because if you hit them with that random out of left field,
Right.
and you're like, now I'm going to do it different. You didn't talk to them ahead of time. They're like, what
Yeah.
are you doing? If they're already
Right.
defensive, now they're even more defensive. Like, what are you trying here?
This is why marriage counseling or even any kind of relationship counseling is
Family counseling.
really helpful, because this is something that I love to talk about in our sessions so that they can get a game plan for this is how we're going to deal with conflict.
Yeah.
And then a lot of therapists will practice in the sessions so that you can start learning how to do it, and you have a mediator, somebody that's the umpire.
Yeah.
For
A,
the
a
first-
third party, especially if it's
Mhm.
like, it feels like it's beyond repair, is so important to have.
Yes.
Because, yeah.
Or,
Sorry.
or if you've not had good conflict resolution examples or
Yeah.
experience before, it helps to see how that can work
Yeah.
with somebody else in the room.
A lot of times it trickles down to whatever you saw in adult conflict when you were growing up.
Yes.
There
Yeah.
are very clear patterns. Even if you had parents that didn't fight ever in front of you,
Right.
like,
Then you never learned how to have a fight
right.
or a conflict. What we're trying not to do is have a fight. We're trying to just have conflict resolution.
So I'm put my dukes down then.
You can put your dukes down. I think I could still take you, but I'm not sure anymore. So you want to start with I statements instead of you statements.
Okay.
So like I did in the beginning, where it's, what is wrong with you? Or I can't believe you did that. Or you. Start with an I statement, and then how you feel, how it makes you feel, and then describe the situation that you want to address with your partner or your sister or whoever this is. So let's example. So what can we do for an example? Heather has, I know Heather didn't cooked for herself, but didn't clean up the kitchen.
Okay, wait. So I cooked for myself
Didn't
and
clean
didn't
up the
clean up
kitchen.
afterwards. Okay.
Right. And that really bothers me
Okay.
a lot.
We don't live together. This is hypothetical.
Right. We used to live together
A long time ago.
a long time ago. Okay, so I want to talk to Heather about cleaning up the kitchen, cleaning up after herself, because it really bothers me when she doesn't. So I would say, Heather, can we talk about something?
Okay.
See?
Now I'm listening.
No, I want to do the conflict the way that we talked about.
Okay. I'm listening.
Yeah, and that's a good point, because it's going to take a few times of resolving conflict this way before you both feel like, oh yeah, we could do this. Like we
Yeah.
could talk about this and not have a major fight about this.
Right.
I'm feeling frustrated because, so there's the I statement. I'm feeling frustrated because you didn't clean up after yourself last night when you cooked. And I went to bed and I had already cleaned up the kitchen. And then when I got up this morning, the kitchen was a mess again. And because we live in the desert, or, well, not really the desert, the tropical rainforest, that we struggle with having bugs in the house. And I wanted to make sure that we don't have bugs in the house. And then you want to tell them what you need. Would you please clean up after yourself when you cook?
And then it's the other person. It's what I hear you saying is I'm a slob. No.
No.
What I'm saying is this time you didn't clean up after yourself.
Oh, you're doing both parts now. You can't do both
okay.
parts.
Sorry. Go ahead.
So you do what I hear you saying.
So what I hear you saying is I'm a slob.
No. What I'm saying is that it would be really helpful for me, if you could clean up after yourself in the kitchen.
Okay.
Because I like that you're cooking for yourself because you're almost 30 years old and still.
See, but I don't live with you. No, just kidding. Yeah. And it might take some back and forth too. It might take a couple of times of like, oh, so you're saying I'm not helpful. No, you got to get back to the bottom of the truth. I'm saying I need you to clean up after yourself, and hanging on to that bottom line of,
Yes.
I'm just asking you to clean up after yourself.
Right.
Or
Yeah.
whatever it is.
Right. If you've had a lot of interaction where you've put down the other person or they've put down you, then it's going to take some healing from that within these conversations, so that is not an instant, oh, you think I'm terrible.
Yeah.
Still, because you've called me these names and I've called you these names and we've had this conflict before.
Right.
So that's going to take some time and some rebuilding of trust in order to resolve this and hear each other.
And it might feel like you're taking the emotion out of it to not make them feel worse, or to say, instead of saying things like, for example, the cleaning thing, I just wish you were more helpful, and making it more generalized. It might feel like you're taking the emotion out of it.
Mm-hmm.
What you're doing is you're putting the emotion of what you're feeling in the first place, which is still highlighting into making it important, but then you're bringing up the problem to get fixed,
Right.
not like doing it is still an inadvertent way of calling names and being hurtful towards each
Right.
other.
Right. That's good.
So starting with like situation by situation might
Right. One
help.
situation at a time.
Yeah.
So it's a shift from fighting to win versus fighting to understand.
Mm.
And it's a shift from fighting with each other versus fighting for each other, for the relationship. And it doesn't always feel like that because you're talking about what's bothering you and what's hurting you.
Yeah.
But when you can talk about those things and adjust for each other, then you're fighting for the relationship to work. And it takes out that there's a loser versus working to understand the thoughts and feelings of your partner. So it's a shift in those things, so that you are seeing this as we're a team, we're a partnership, or if it's not a partnership, we're friends, and we want this relationship to be strong and healthy. We want to be closer to each other.
Right. Right.
Some of this is also about timing.
Yeah. Yeah. That factor can make or break some of those conversations, because
Yeah.
it doesn't matter how right you are. It doesn't matter how wrong the situation was. If you're bringing it up at a bad time, it can mess everything up.
Right. So one of the wrong times would be at an event or in public.
Yeah. Don't fight in the parking lot right before you go in.
Right. Or right. Or even I've seen some conflicts between family members within an event, like at intermission or something like that.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Not on Christmas Day or a major holiday.
Yeah.
Like, don't fight with your wife on Mother's Day
You would think.
or your mama.
Or their birthday.
Right, right. Christmas should be like Thanksgiving, major holidays like that, times, or even a vacation where you're out together is not a great time to start solving conflict.
No, that should be like sacred moments that you hang on to for those kinds of.
Right.
Yeah.
Another time is not the moment that they're walking in the door from work or school.
Yeah. And I know that can be hard, especially if one of you is home with the kids, or has been with the kids all day, and the other one is just coming off of work and hasn't been with them because you're like, I need to talk to another adult.
Right.
But
Or I've been holding on to this all day because you didn't clean up the kitchen and now I want to talk to you because I
Right.
finally get to talk to you. And I'm not saying wait an hour and they go get their alone time or anything
yeah,
like that.
no.
I'm just saying give them a minute to get in the door and get settled and then
Yeah.
start the conversation.
And like for the other one, maybe try to debrief some on your way home too, so that you're not thinking you need a whole hour to
Right.
debrief. Because I promise you, the other person did not get that hour.
Right. They did
They
not.
need to debrief too.
Right. Not late at night.
Yeah, my husband and I have that rule. I told him when we started dating, we can't do any serious conversations, any conflict resolution, any arguing, nothing past like 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Because my ability to be kind even just kind of goes out the window after
Right.
10. I'm like, I'm
Yeah, we're
exhausted.
tired.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
I don't do well with exhaustion, so it's better to be on my game if we're going to talk through things like
Mhm.
that and be able to actually think through whatever he's saying
Right. Right.
instead
And
of say the first thing that comes to mind.
right. And have like a good conversation rather than a raw conversation because you're exhausted.
Yeah.
The other thing is like don't do it when you're hangry.
Yeah, or drunk, or if you've been drinking
goodness,
even a
yes.
couple of drinks, don't do that. Like it's hard not to, but don't do that then.
Right. Yeah, that's a really bad time to have a conflict.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And it really does help to schedule a time.
Mhm.
The only issue with that is that it puts the other person on the defense.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, we're going to be talking about this until you get to the point where you know this is going to be a good conversation and we're going to get through it. Even sometimes it's scheduling a time might mean that you say, okay, I know that he's going to be home at this time and and the kids will be watching TV at this time or doing their own thing at this time or with grandma at this time. This would be when I can bring this up to them so that
Yeah.
it doesn't just get pushed aside.
Right.
So even scheduling a time solo and saying, hey, I want to talk about something real quick while we have a moment is a good idea.
Yeah.
So this is the first half of conflict resolution. We could do many, many episodes, and we'll do more than just the 2 episodes.
Oh, good. Maybe we can get some boxing gloves for the table. I think that'd be
Oh,
fun.
that would be great. We should have done that this time. I'm sure we have some somewhere. So next episode, we're going to be talking about conflict resolution part 2. Part 2. I think that's from a movie. So we hope that this has helped in some of the how-tos. If you want to comment and ask questions, we'd love to hear from you so that we can address situations and questions that you might have. So we hope that you have a great week.
We'll see you next week. Bye.